Hi guys, welcome back to the Unsavvy Budgeter. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Cindy, and in this video we're talking about taxes, specifically my taxes. If you weren't here last year when I filed taxes last year, then let's give you a recap on how it horribly went. So when we filed taxes last year, my husband and I, for 2020, we ended up owing $7,309. The breakdown of that was $2,247 in state and $5,062 in federal taxes. We were not prepared for that amount whatsoever. In all honesty, I thought we might get some money back, but that ended up not being the case. The only thing we really had going for us was that we filed taxes early in February, and that gave us a few months to really prepare a sinking fund to pay back the taxes that we owed. So thankfully, we were able to figure out our side hustles and how we were going to throw as much money towards paying back our taxes as soon as possible. But at that time, we weren't really in the greatest place because we were still fairly new on our debt-free journey. We were still paying back the credit cards as well as the student loans. And we had no sinking fund or really much of an emergency savings. I think at that time we only had set aside like $2,000 for emergency savings to kind of prepare for the worst. And we ended up depleting that to kind of contribute towards paying back taxes on time. When we dug into it, we were trying to figure out like, why did we owe such a massive amount and what went wrong? And to be honest, I really felt overwhelmed and didn't understand how things had changed when it came to the new W-2 tax forms. I just was used to kind of just saying zero for everything, and I did not figure out if I needed to have additional withholdings. My husband was a little bit better at figuring his situation, but we both realized that we were under withholding, if that's a word. But yeah, to really figure that out, we ended up going to the experts. So we met with our CPA and had him help us crunch the numbers on what we really should be setting aside. And that really helped us out. When it came down to it, it turned out that specifically for myself, I needed to set aside an additional withholding of $285 per paycheck for federal. And I didn't have any additional withholdings for my state taxes. In terms for my husband, he ended up having additional withholdings of $275 for his federal taxes and $125 for his state taxes. So that's also per paycheck. So in total, I have $285 additional withholdings per paycheck. My husband has $400 additional withholdings per paycheck. So in total, that's $685 of additional withholdings that my husband and I are both having taken out of our paychecks that we get. So we did the math, and that means that in a year, we have set aside $17,240 of additional tax withholdings to make sure that we are not owing anything back. And it turns out that that really worked in our favor this year when we filed taxes for 2021. We ended up getting back a grand total of $4,538 back. And we were not expecting that amount at all. In all honesty, I thought we were going to have to owe a little bit more, but definitely not $7,000 more, which was really a great surprise for us to go from last year owing such a massive amount compared to this year getting a pretty nice check back. So the breakdown of that really was in federal taxes, we had $2,216 refunded to us. And then it was a little different for us this year because we moved to Georgia and we ended up getting two separate amounts for state taxes. So for California, we ended up getting back $1,712, and in Georgia, we ended up getting $610. We lived most of that year in California, and we only lived in Georgia for the last few months of the year. So that was really great for us. The changes that I can think of that really helped us get a refund was we changed our CPA. Last year we did pay $300 to use a CPA, and he was decent. We weren't in love with him, but we felt like it was a safer choice than using the typical like TurboTax that we used before. And we felt like maybe we were missing out on, extra refunds or deductions. And so we went to the CPA, and he kind of reported the same thing that we would have gotten on TurboTax. So we weren't really all that thrilled. But last year we ended up changing our CPA again, and I ended up consulting with a friend that's a CPA, and we ended up hiring him to file our taxes for us. So he was really great. He ended up giving us a great discount for filing taxes, and we ended up paying like half the amount, so $150 to file taxes. And he did such a great job with really explaining to us what we can do for tax write-offs, how we could stay organized and be better prepared when we file taxes for next year. And he really helped answer and clear up any questions or concerns that we had. So I say it's really worth it to shop around for a CPA and find one that you feel like is really best for you. The major changes that we had was being landlords. Last year was really the first time we had a rental income properties. So we had no idea like what that really meant for us, but we knew that there were some tax benefits to that, meaning tax write-offs. So with us moving out of that home last year and turning it into a rental property, we had to invest quite a bit of money to make sure that that property was rental ready, and we had quite a few big expenses that was associated to that. So thankfully we were reminded by our CPA, and we were able to kind of track back the expenses that we had, find the receipts and things like that, the invoices, and figure out how much we spent on getting that place ready to go and to rent. And he just continued to educate us on like what we could continue to track when it comes to that rental property. Other changes we've made is increased our contribution to our 401k. I'm not contributing to 401k at the moment just because I have not been with my employer for a year yet, but I'm going to be there soon in the next couple of months, so I'm going to be increasing my contribution as well compared to what I contributed to my previous employer. We're not at a place financially where we can max out our 401k contribution, but we're hoping in the near future that that would happen for the both of us. I'm also continuing to max out my HSA fund, so that maximum has changed from last year from $3,600 to $3,650. So it went up by $50. So I'm going ahead and maxing that out. And ADP is our payroll system, and it's doing a great job with alerting me and letting me know if I'm over contributing or if I've hit my maximum. So that's been great. And my husband right now isn't worried about contributing to his HSA contribution, just because we feel like we're gonna try and take home as much money as we can to continue to pay off our debt faster. So hopefully in the near future, both of us can max that out. But for now, this is the plan, and it's been working for us, so we feel like we're doing okay. It's also not a total loss because my husband's current employer is contributing a little bit to his HSA fund, so we feel like it's not so bad of a situation. All in all, we're really happy. I feel like we did like a total like 180 from last year with taxes to this year, and we couldn't be any happier. My husband and I ended up thinking like, should we increase, our withholdings this year? But we checked with our CPA, and he said that we should be good. We know that, when it comes to annual raises, we always kind of reevaluate like, I got a raise. Do I need to, update my withholdings or not? And so we made those changes along the way as we were getting those raises. So we felt like we adjusted accordingly, and it ended up working out great. So that's really the major updates that I have for our taxes this year. I would love to hear how your tax season went, and if you have any questions or comments, or you could just relate to this, make sure to comment below and give this video a thumbs up. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Thank you.